So we're back once again. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. And we've had a 2-week break during the holidays, but I'm back tonight. And we've had a 2-week break. Okay, everything is normal. And let me comment on who was here first. Renz was in here very first one. He got in here before he went to work. Then he went to work and got back in here. Eleanor got in here second. She said hello to everybody. And then Renz got to work. And now, okay, yeah, Missy is in here. And there's her hello to Renz and Eleanor. Renz a million. You're famous, Renz. Here's Vince right behind Missy. Hey, Vince, glad to have you here. And let's see. That's all I see so far. So I hope everybody had a great Christmas and a great New Year's. I certainly did. And I don't know what the weather is like where you are. Renz, I know you're in the Philippines, so I guess yours is very different than ours. And let's see, Renz is saying hello to Missy and hi to Vince. Okay, so everybody's good. I hope your New Year's went well. And before I start my stories, I want to address just a couple of little things. First, let's start with the Galaxy Z Flip. And I got my Android 12 update, I guess it's UI 4 for Samsung, on the, I'm losing it, on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. It finally came to me. I got that like a month ago, and they were supposed to update the Z Flip and the Z Fold 3 a couple of weeks later. Well, it turns out Samsung had some kind of big issue with the folding devices, and so they didn't release the update for that, so no Android 12 on this as yet. But I do have a story from today from Sam Mobile that the Android 12 update with One UI 4 is out now. I keep checking mine. I've been checking it for days and hasn't come to me as yet. But I guess from Samsung, I'll be getting the Android 12 One UI 4 update very soon. So anybody else that has the Z Flip 3, which I gather is selling extremely well, and they've been advertising it like crazy, I guess you can expect it, especially if you're in the US. Yes, I love flipping that phone, Renz. It's the most fun phone to use ever, in my opinion. And it's very, very sturdy. But, you know, Mike seems to be worried about his because when you do all that flipping, but it seems solid as a rock. It's really good. So just wanted to mention that the update for the Z Flip 3 has not come through as yet. And the other one, of course, is the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. We were supposed to get the update for both the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro in December. Well, I gather Google started releasing it, and there were lots of problems, and they stopped it. And I gather they finally said, okay, I don't know how many problems they've got, but they finally said they're going to release the December update with the January update, I gather, at the end of this month. So anybody waiting for that, I guess you'll still have a week or two to go. Now, I just have a little thing of a bug tracker here on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. And I just wanted to go through them, what kind of issues people are having. Lost signal, Now, of course, we know the fingerprint sensor. When I first got mine, like everybody else, I had lots of problems with the fingerprint sensor. But for me, ever since they released that update in November, see, that thing is pretty solid now. So I haven't had any real problems with it. Eleanor has the Pixel 6. I don't think she's had any problems with hers either. So I don't think the fingerprint sensor is much of an issue anymore. People are having screen flickering issues. Ghost styling. I did have mine in my pocket one day when I went out, and it called Ted on its own. So it's not much of an issue for me, but it's been okay. Now, Renz is saying, I won't be updating my Pixel 5 from Android 11, not unless Google will push out the Android 12L. He wants the Android 12L, yeah, for the big screens. Now, my update for my Pixel 5a, that's been, over a month, I think, and it's solid as a rock, no issues whatsoever. So any of us who are waiting for the update to the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro, in the US at least, I guess we'll be seeing it at the end of this month. So just wanted to address those two things. I know the Pixel's been selling pretty well, and no issues. Eleanor is saying not yet. Now, Eleanor's had hers since Christmas, so. But yeah, it seems like both of our phones are working fine. Jay Williams, same thing. He's put out a couple of videos about it. He hasn't had any issues with his either. So, like, maybe we're just blessed, maybe we're just lucky, but we haven't had all these issues that other people are having. So I just wanted to address those two things before I brought up anything else. Now, of course, I'm broadcasting, of course, to YouTube and to Facebook, both my sign-ins on Facebook. So anybody at Facebook that wants to comment, just let me know you're here. And as usual, I'm going to show you the show notes are in the description on YouTube, and I also put the link on Facebook. But of course, all the show notes are always on the latest one on mobilegeyser.wordpress.com. And let's see if I can get that out of the way for a second. mobilegeyser.wordpress.com. And if you click on the very first story, you'll see Friday Night Tech Talk show notes 1/7/2022. So always like to let you guys see where you can see that. You can follow along in the stories with me. So I'm going to move on to the first story. Now, I know that Samsung has announced the S21 FE, but there has been so many stories about it. I didn't see the need to include it in tonight's stream, but my very first story is about CES, which is still going on right now in Vegas. So I think it's mentioned in there. So let me share that screen. Come on. There you go. All right, so this is at CES 2022. Started 2 days ago in Vegas. I gathered it officially ends tomorrow. So I just pulled this after the second day. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea. Now, I was watching a live stream from Zach Talks Tech last night, and he's there, and it's amazing how few people are there, because I was at the CES 2017 and 2018. That's where I met Ted at CES in 2018. And, you go in the convention center where the main booths are, and it's hard to move in a lot of places. Not this year. Some companies have cut out, but you'll see that in the story. But I gathered people are surprised at how few people there are. I mean, you can just move around pretty much anywhere you want. But some people say it's kind of nice that it's not so packed either. So let's just go through the story. The CES 2022 trends we'll all be talking about this year. So this is a story about the things they thought were useful. Amid the futurist dreams of robots, the metaverse, and autonomous transportation at CES 2022, there are real products calling out to your shopping cart. Let's put this in reader view. Okay. And this was by Roger Chang. CES has always been a window into what the world of technology will look like down the line. But this year, it also served as a microcosm of our chaotic, messy, and unpredictable lives today. You got that right. The trade show was adamant about holding a hybrid show with a strong physical presence in 2022. And with the things calming down after the Delta variant of COVID-19 surged over the summer, that seemed to be a realistic goal. Keynote speakers and big-name companies signed on, and it was poised to be one of the first big conferences to go back to in-person events. Then Omicron reared its highly contagious head. With just a few weeks before the conference kicked off, a raft of companies pulled out or scrapped plans to travel to Las Vegas. T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert canceled his keynote entirely. Google, Microsoft, AMD, and Intel modified their plans. Most of the major media outlets opted to cover the event virtually. The show appeared to be on the verge of collapse. So was CES a bust? Surprisingly, no. A number of big announcements, from Samsung's first OLED TV to Sony teasing its PlayStation VR 2 system, infused the show with relevance. The automotive industry has steadily increased its presence at the event. Yeah, that's true. There's more cars every year, and didn't disappoint this year. And then there were the lifelike robots. Yeah, I guess the robots are pretty awesome to see. It was so surreal. I wish I could have seen in person, said CNET video producer Claire Riley after interviewing Ameka, a robot with human-like facial expressions, and you'll see that down here as we go down. Okay. The Consumer Technology Association, which puts on the show, said the number of participants ultimately rose as small and medium-sized businesses still saw the value of meeting face-to-face. It's definitely not the same, said Avi Greengard, an analyst for research firm Techsponential, who opted at the last minute to attend in person. There's less value, but it's easy to extract that value. Here's what we learned from this year's CES. This is what the robots look like, and I gather in person they're pretty awesome to see. The Ameka humanoid robot displayed startlingly lifelike expressions. Okay. 1, CES couldn't overcome COVID-19, but that didn't matter. Given the up and down pattern of COVID-19 over the last 2 years, it shouldn't be a surprise that another badly timed surge disrupted everything. Because of this, unpredictably, the CTA from the onset went with a hybrid model that offered the option to attend in person or virtually through a digital platform. Hybrid is a reality we'll all be living with going forward, with many companies considering hybrid as the new status quo if things get back to normal. This trend will likely ripple through to other conferences as we reassess the value of attending one of these gatherings. I can tell you it's pretty exciting to attend them in person. A slew of interesting products, from the new laptops from Dell and HP to Samsung's television, served as a reminder that there's no substitute for seeing and experiencing things in person. That is absolutely true. While companies like Lenovo traveled to New York to set up local briefings for early hands-on experiences, there's nothing that can replace a central hub like CES. While Ameka was captivating over video conference, imagine how much more of an impact it would have had up close. That's true. And those who made the effort were rewarded with a CES free of some of its more notorious annoyances. That's true. It's a lot easier and more pleasant in some ways, Greengart said. I can actually grab a cab. Yeah, normally that is a very tough thing to do, especially at the convention center. Okay, this is one of the things I've seen a couple of stories on. The Samsung Freestyle is a $900 projector that can create a 100-inch picture, and I gather it's pretty stunning to see. I don't have $900 to lay out for this, but you might want to look up some of the stories on the Samsung Freestyle. 2, laptops and TVs are flashy again, and you'll like the new ones. TVs and laptops have a circadian rhythm to their product release cycles that have long been aligned with CES. You can set your clocks by the fact that nearly all of the big vendors unveil their main products in the first week of January. That's true. You see the latest TVs there are on the planet at CES. While many of the TV and computer companies plan to skip this year's CES or pulled out at the last minute because of the spread of Omicron, they still did their annual blitz of product announcements to kick off the year. CNET's lead TV reviewer David Katzmeier rounded up the big developments in TVs, and CNET's lead laptop reviewer Dan Ackerman wrote up the cool stuff happening in laptops. So if you go to these stories, you can click on these links and read about these things. But it's worth calling out a few highlights in each category. Samsung finally revealed an OLED TV to compete with LG's best-in-class picture quality. TCL unveiled its largest TV ever, get this, with a 98-inch Roku-powered behemoth. That's a big TV. Not to be outdone, LG announced its largest OLED ever with an impressive 97 inches. And Samsung's the Freestyle TV projector with its 100-inch picture, 360-degree sound, and the $900 price tag was a fun surprise. Anybody who wants to donate a Samsung Freestyle TV projector to me, just let me know. Then you got the Dell Xps 13. A lot of people seem to be very impressed with this one too. There are a number of stories out there too. And of course, you could go here and click on this. In computers, the Dell XPS 13 Plus was the biggest attention getter, making bold design choices from one of the most steady, reliable laptop lines on the market. The new version supports an edge-to-edge keyboard, a new take on a customizable touch bar, and a touchpad that runs the entire length of the bottom of the laptop. There's a picture here. Here's the big picture. Here's the little picture here. HP's ultralight Elite Dragonfly laptop came with a svelte new design. The Asus ZenBook 17 Fold offered up a 17.3-inch foldable OLED laptop. Lenovo broke the mold with its ThinkBook Plus Gen 3 dual display laptop, which comes with an ultra-wide 17.3-inch main screen with a 21:10 aspect ratio at 120 hertz. That must be pretty awesome to see. It also has a versatile 8-inch second screen to the right of the keyboard that can be used with a stylus for taking notes and put to many other creative uses. So that was the Dell XPS 13. Phones and 5G provided a meaty unofficial CES. Phones and wireless services don't traditionally play a big role at CES. Yeah, but I always found at least one that impressed me. Instead, waiting a month or so until the MWC trade show. But this year, they served as a secondary storyline running concurrent with the official CES announcement. The biggest was the spat between the wireless carriers and the Federal Aviation Administration and Transportation Secretary Peter Buttigieg over a request for Verizon and AT&T to delay their rollout of upgraded 5G networks because of concerns over interference with airplane equipment. Yeah, that argument's been going on for a couple of months, and I think both AT&T and Verizon were supposed to roll that out yesterday, I believe. The request was made on New Year's Eve, prompting the carriers to quickly reject it, setting up a potential legal clash. So I don't know if they rolled it out yesterday or not. But the two sides came to an agreement late Monday, leading to Verizon making a splashy announcement about the coming 5G upgrade, which will go live after that 2-week delay. Okay, so we got 2 weeks to wait. AT&T had pulled out of CES and kept relatively mum during this stretch. On the phone side, Oneplus made a splash by teasing its OnePlus 10 Pro out of China right in the middle of CES's Media Day. And I saw an article that's going to actually be released next week, I believe on the 11th. While technically part of CES, Samsung opted to front-run everybody by unveiling its Galaxy S21 Fan Edition on Monday night. And that's what Samsung always does. They do the exact same thing at what's the other one that we mentioned? At MWC in Spain. The day before it goes officially live, Samsung always has their announcements. So that's just typical of Samsung. So you could click. Well, let's take a quick click on this and see if here. There's the S21 FE review that was on CNET, but that's what it looks like. And it's $700. I know that. And this, of course, follows the Galaxy S20 FE from last year, which Eleanor's daughter has. And a lot of people picked the 20 last year as the phone of the year. So this one does sound pretty impressive. Okay. I've got to go back here. I'm going to go back to review. Okay. Bring it on down. Okay. And we're at Samsung. Okay. More officially, the TCL30 V5G and TCL XE 5G, most of which I haven't heard of, made their debut at CES 2022 and will be out as soon as February. HMD Global, the Finnish startup making Nokia-branded handsets, showed off 5 new phones hitting the U.S. in the coming months. Yes, but last year, Nokia announced, I think, 4 or 5 new phones, and I think they all kind of just dropped right off the radar right after CES. So we'll see what happens this year. They range from the 5G Nokia G400 at $239 to the retro Nokia 2760 flip phone, $79. Yeah, but I'll bet you it's not a flip like the Z Flip 3. Just my guess. The takeaway: don't sleep on mobile news at the beginning of the year and get ready for big changes to your wireless experience in 2022. Okay, and there's the S21 FE again. They're saying affordable, but it's still $700, so keep that in mind. Might be worth every cent. I'm not saying that's not. Smart glasses could have an iPad moment in 2022. When the iPad was announced in April 2010, it was one of the worst kept secrets in tech. Before it even launched, lots of other tech companies had announced their own tablets, and afterwards the stampede only got more crowded, that's for sure. Augmented reality glasses could be approaching an iPad-like moment in 2022, with supply chain leaks linking Apple to the launch of AR glasses or an AR/VR headset later this year. I guess taking us into the metaverse. The competition doesn't intend to get caught flat-footed. CES 2022 saw a tidal wave of AR, virtual reality, and metaverse announcements, as I would have expected. TCL unveiled both its vision for the future AR smart glasses and its NXT Wear Air glasses. Say that 5 times fast. That work as an external display that is the equivalent of watching a 140-inch TV. Sony showed off the PlayStation VR 2. Mojo Vision came with its latest prototype for smart contact lenses. Wow. Qualcomm and Microsoft told the world that they will partner on chips for future AR glasses. Panasonic demonstrated that a pair of $900 Steam VR goggles, wow, with a steampunk look, and metaverse became the hottest and most ridiculous buzzword at CES 2022, as this wonderful Twitter thread from Ninja Zikhaimi demonstrates. So you can check that out if you want. I wanted to get back to the comments for a second just to see if anybody's commenting. Okay. We were talking about the Pixel 6. Eleanor just says, I need to stop the phone from typing out a text message when someone leaves a voice message. Yeah, and I think you can turn that off in the settings. Okay, so expect a lot more hype around AR glasses this year, even though the products released are likely to be a little more than clunky prototypes. That's probably true. I don't think Apple's would, though. At least they'll give us all stories to entertain the grandkids in a couple of decades. Well, for me and Eleanor, it's great grandkids. Okay, there's a pair of I guess that's the TCL NXT Wear Air glasses. Are a wearable display that plugs into devices via a USB cable. I guess there. The EV tsunami is about to come ashore. While there was no shore, timeout. Look at this. Wait, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second here. We got Ted, folks. We are on it. This is the way to start a new year. Oh, good. He took off his earphones. He can't hear me now. Wait, let me say something nasty.
Happy New Year, George.
Happy New Year, brother. Glad to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be back for a bit.
And my Project 13 is here. What's up, Anthony? Happy New Year, brother.
Ooh.
So, we are singularly honored. I hope this is a good omen for the rest of the year. You know.
Let's hope.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and to those who don't know, we have a fairly newly engaged man that we are now looking at. So congratulations are in order.
Who?
So, and Happy New Year, says Amir.
But yeah,
Anthony
thanks.
says Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Renz
got
is happy to
engaged
see you,
in.
of
Hey,
course.
Renz, how's it going? Renz has been taking some great pictures on his new Pixel. Was it a Pixel 5a or a Pixel 5? Renz remind me.
Pixel 5, I think, right, Renz?
Yeah. He's taking real great pictures with that.
Did I see one yesterday? I think I saw one yesterday. So anyway, the only story I've gone through so far is the just one story about CES, just because I thought I should start with CES. And have you seen any of the coverage from CES, Ted?
Hold on. Let me just take off this plastic bag. I was using this to soften the light.
Okay. No, it looks better this way, I think. Okay. Okay. Yo, Brian's in here. Happy New Year, Brian. Good to see you, brother. And look who's here. And
Hey, Brian.
Sharkfin
Hey,
Tech.
Sharkfin.
Hello, Mkbhd and Sharkfin. Glad to see you, brother. Shout out to fellow chatters. Glad you're in here.
Maybe if Sharkfin has a nice setup, we can let him come on. If he has a nice setup. Never mind.
If you want. Brian's on his way to catch his bus home. Okay. The only thing I started with, I didn't have a story on it, but I wanted to bring up that the Fold devices from Samsung, the Z Flip and the Fold 3, have not yet gotten their updates. Obviously, We got the update to the S21 Ultra. That was fine, and that's for Android 12. But the Fold and the Z Flip 3, they were having problems. Today, there are stories that they're starting to release it for the Z Flip 3 and the Fold. I have not gotten mine yet. I checked it just before I started broadcasting, so I'm waiting for mine to show up.
Is your Philip the T-Mobile or unlocked?
It's unlocked.
Okay. Hey, Lewis, what's up?
Yo, Louis. Good to see you, brother. Anyway, and the only other thing I brought up before I started the stories was the Pixel 6 Pro, and I gave Eleanor a Pixel 6 for Christmas. Neither one of ours, and also Jay Williams, none of us have had the problems that other people are having with the Pixel 6. But because of the problems, Google started releasing the December update. They stopped it like right away. And now they're saying we're going to get the December update included with the January update. But
that makes sense.
But not until the end of this month. So they had a lot of problems to straighten out. But Jay Will said he didn't have any issues with his. I've had no issues with mine, and Eleanor hasn't had any issues with hers. So thank God. So just wanted to keep you up to. So have you watched any coverage from CES?
Coverage. Actually, I think I saw. Let me see. Oh, I can see comments there. Very few. Which ones did I see? I did see some on Twitter, specifically. I think one's from Nextdoc, where they were experimenting with some form factors, like extending the like your smartphone display on a tablet form. That was
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen. Have you seen the displays that you can turn one way or the other, and the gigantic? The gaming displays, I can't even remember whose was.
Was it Asus? Asus OLED displays, or was that Samsung? I think that both of them actually put out new gaming OLED displays.
Okay. Well, this one was about. You can see how wide my hands are past the camera on both sides. Well, this one was about that wide, and they could turn it. Portrait.
Vertical.
Yeah.
In portrait. Awesome. Well, for gaming monitor, why would you want to game in portrait?
I don't know, but it looked awfully cool. It looked awfully expensive also. But I joined a live stream that Zach Talks Text had the other day. Oh, he gave me the nicest compliment. He saw I was in there. He said, "Hey, Mobile Geezer's in here. That guy's a legend."
A living legend.
But I went back and watched his first day coverage, and Ted, you wouldn't believe how empty it is. I mean, you can actually walk around inside the convention center. It's amazing.
Who's doing cover? Give me some channels that are doing coverage, because it's not like
the only one that I actually looked at his coverage was Zach Talks Tech.
Zach.
He is there. Yeah.
I might not. I thought I was subscribed to Zach. It's not like back in the day when Juan would do his coverage with walking around with his phone.
Awesome coverage.
Yeah. I see it. Like CNET and them have just been like covering the trade shows, like the actual by the big brands. Like so I did see Sony made a new prototype SUV car.
Naturally, you would see Sony's being the photographer, and so were you impressed?
It was just a TV. It was just a prototype car that they're not planning on selling. Like, what can I do with this?
Oh, well, yeah, they do that every year. Everybody does that every year.
This is the second year they've done the car. And this time it was an SUV car. But still, I'm like, you're not going to sell this car. Why do we care? And then they made a big hurrah about their new VR, their VR2.
Everybody, I just went through that in the story. Everybody and his brother's coming out with VR glasses. So it seems like everybody's expecting the Apple glasses this year. So everybody, of course, rushed to get theirs out too. So, and I hadn't gotten to the last part of the story, but let me pull that back up so I can share that last part, because it does have to do with the cars. They seem to think the cars are not so futuristic that we'll never see them this year. But let's go through it and see. So the EV tsunami is about to come ashore. While there was no shortage of far future fantasy in the automotive character at this year's CES, looking at you, Hyundai, the most exciting stuff was more tangible, which sounds better than usual. Things like the new Chevy Silverado Ev. GM CEO Mkbhd debuted the company's all-electric pickup, showing off a number of different flavors at some impressive numbers. Most impressive, 400 miles of range on a charge. That's pretty good on a big truck.
Is it already over?
No, it officially ends tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the 5th through the 8th. The $105,000 manufacturer suggested retail price of the launch edition will carry. Yeah, yikes. Cheaper versions will come, though. And then there's the electric Equinox, which will start at just $30,000. That sounds a bit more reasonable. But pickup trucks have all gone through the roof this year.
Yeah.
So there's the Chevy Silverado EV. Everybody seems very impressed with that. While EVs were everywhere, autonomy continued to be a major push. Here again, GM was making waves, talking up its latest integrations with Cruise for an autonomous ride-hailing service. Even more interesting was the talk around Ultra Cruise, the next step beyond Super Cruise. This will offer true hands-off driving even on local roads. The Cadillac Celestiq will be the first to offer this when it arrives in 2023. That's just next year. People, get ready. So, Ted, would you ride in an autonomous car that you don't put your hands on the wheel?
Hell yes.
You would? Okay. I would if it was going slow. So there's a good shot of the Silverado EV. So
let's see. What do we happen to drive in anything that isn't piloted? Like airplanes have a pilot, trains pretty much have a conductor.
Yeah, but keep in mind, airplanes can go on autopilot as long as they're up and stay up there a long time on autopilot.
Yeah, but they're not really allowed to take off without a pilot.
No, they can't take off and land. That's true.
And
if you've ever landed a plane, I can tell you, and I've only done it once with a small plane, and it's kind of hairy, which I tend to like hairy. So.
I don't want hairy. I don't want hairy. If I'm, however thousands of feet up in the air.
I'm one of those people who like edgy stuff. I've skydived twice, so I
never been a fan of roller coasters as well. Roller coasters.
Now, I cannot ride roller coasters. I am terrified of roller coasters. Eleanor used to tease me, you'll jump out of a plane, but you won't ride. I am terrified of roller coasters.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Ironic, if anything.
But I've stepped out at 13 and 14,000 feet respectively, and that was pretty cool. That was the first time I got a bigger kick than on a motorcycle. So anyway, I just wanted to get a quick look at CES. People seem to think it's better than they thought it would be after different companies pulled out, and some people seem to be enjoying the fact that they can actually walk around with a little space for a change. Because we both know that that's not usually possible. So, did you get the stories?
Yeah, I got the stories.
Okay, you want to read the TikTok story?
Yeah, hold on. Look, I got a little red under my phone. Yes, hold on.
Oh, you mean you're all ready?
TikTok.
I know you missed that humor. All right, here's TikTok. I'm sharing. And whenever you are ready, we can go. And that's on CBS News, by the way. And keep in mind, I've been off for 2 weeks, so some of these stories are going to be from December, but I thought this one was too big not to put up.
Oops.
What are you doing?
So I thought I was typing something, but it wasn't going through, and I was...
No, you're banging something.
Yeah, that's a keyboard.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go into read view so we... Okay.
There
so whenever you're ready.
All right. Okay. So this light is in my eye, so I'm losing contrast. There it is.
I was just kind of amazed that TikTok has now topped Google.
Yep, for the first time. This is from Christopher J. Christopher. So let me get out of reader mood. This is looking suspect. Christopher J. Brooks.
Oh yeah, you didn't see the Brooks and review. That's weird. All right, I'm going back to read review. Okay, whenever you're ready.
No, but look, yeah, in read review, like look at it. Look how it's written. Christopher J. Christopher. J.
Yeah, you don't even see the last name in read review.
Oof.
Hey, you can't complain. You're the one who taught me there was a read review in the first place. This is your fault.
So for the first time, TikTok had surpassed Facebook and Google as the most popular destination on the internet. That's right. It surpassed Google.com. That's a shock.
Yeah.
According to a technology firm that tracks online activity. In an analysis of web traffic this year, storage software company Cloudflare, they're a DNS company. They don't do storage.
No, but Cloudflare does keep track of this stuff, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they're a DNS. They're a DNS server, so that's their job. But they're not. Do they sell storage?
I guess now they sell storage too. Is my guess.
Okay. So Cloudflare found that TikTok was the most visited website and the most widely used social media platform. Cloudflare's ranking is based on how much web traffic a site generated in 2021. Chinese startup ByteDance launched TikTok in 2016. The platform got some attention a year later when it bought rival app Musical.ly, and its popularity began surging in the U.S. in 2020 with notable videos, including one that showed Idaho resident Nathan Apodaca skateboarding and drinking ocean spray while listening to Fleetwood Mac. Yet, I mean, I know the story. And yeah, I saw the reposted videos. Yet, while TikTok steadily grew, the platform never rose higher than number 7 in web traffic, according to Cloudflare. That changed in 2021. It was on February 17, 2021, that TikTok got the top spot for a day. Back in March, TikTok got a few more days, and also in May, but it was after August 10, 2021, that TikTok took the lead on most days. Cloudflare's told me, I don't know how to say that.
Zhao, I know how to say the first name only because there's a famous jazz guy.
Zhao told me. Okay. And Sofia Cardita wrote in the blog post. Cardita and Tome said Google took over as a top website a few times in October and November, but TikTok dominated on most days, including Thanksgiving and Black Friday, rounding out the top 10 most visited internet sites in 2021, according to Cloudflare. Number one, obviously being
number 2 is Google. TikTok's number 1.
Yeah, I was just, they omitted number 1 for obvious reasons, but I was just putting it in. So
yeah,
number 1 is TikTok. 2 is Google. 3 is Facebook. 4 is Microsoft. What are people visiting on Microsoft? Like, is that supposed to be Bing?
I'm guessing it has to be Bing. What else would you? It has to be Bing.
Okay. Number 5, Apple, the Apple website. Okay. Number 6, Amazon. Okay. This is, once we start going past Facebook, things are interesting. I wouldn't have thought. Number 7 is Netflix.
It's a strange list, yeah.
Number 8 is YouTube. Huh.
That's way down, isn't it?
Yeah. Under Netflix.
Yeah.
You're telling me Netflix, a paid site, gets more traffic than YouTube. And number 9 is Twitter. Number 10 is WhatsApp.
Now, keep in mind, that says most visited. To me, the next list is more relevant.
Yeah, but most visited internet sites.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like a lot of people watch Netflix on their computers, phones, I guess.
Yeah, that seems very mightily suspect. Like, more people, a lot of people, like it almost feels like it's the majority of people would go on Netflix on their computers than on their TV or smartphone.
Or on their phones. It could be phones too.
Does that count as internet sites though? No, I don't think if you access Netflix or Amazon through an app, I don't think that gets it. I think it's actual.
Right. You're right. No, you're right.
It's web browsers.
Would have to be through a web browser. Yeah, you're right.
Number 9, Twitter. This list is suspect. I'm going to need to look at this.
And WhatsApp as 10 does seem suspect also.
Is there something that's missing that we feel ought to be here?
Yeah, because you would think WhatsApp would be almost entirely app, not browser.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is kind of strange. But this one, I think
I'm looking at my browser, seeing if there's something obvious. I guess Gmail and stuff, Gmail, Google Calendar counts as Google.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we look at the 10 most popular social media platforms.
Right.
And yep, number 1 is still TikTok, 2 is Facebook, 3 is YouTube, 4 is Twitter, 5 is Instagram.
See, this one makes much more sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would see more people going to Twitter on their computer than Instagram.
Exactly.
6 is Snapchat?
Yes.
Okay, this is just social media. Social media, okay.
Social media, yeah.
But on a computer? So number 7 is Reddit.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind they're saying most visited. I don't think you have to be on a computer when they're talking about social media. You could be on your phone for that.
This is Cloudflare's analysis. Maybe Cloudflare also, their DNS also plays a part when connecting to people to apps on their services.
It could be. Anyway, this list makes much more sense to me than the first list.
No, I'm looking at the analysis now. TikTok's ranking. They're showing a bar graph. Yep. Social media.
Where'd you see the bar graph? Do I have to get out of reader view to see that?
Yeah, it's in the links when they up at the second paragraph when they say in an analysis.
Oh. In here? Oh no, that's just the story. All right, let me go back. Let me get it out of reader view. Still not seeing a bar graph. Is it that analysis link?
Let me share it with you.
Okay, well, let me get this off. Let me stop. Okay. All right, you share yours and I'll.
No. I'll just share. I'll share it with you, the link on the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Most peculiar.
Okay, yeah, it's the same one that. Okay. Oh, there's the graph. All right, so I can get to it from here. Okay, so if I go here and we go down, there it is. Okay. All right. Oh, and I can tell you why they got so big in 2021. You there?
Yeah.
Oh, you walked away. Because Eleanor has become a huge TikTok user. Mostly with Christian sites, mostly with Christian stuff. I'll give you that. But most of the stuff she shares with me is coming from TikTok, even on Facebook. So it's not just young people that are into TikTok anymore.
That's a shame.
Let me go back to the regular comments. Oh, Renz, thank you so much, sir. Super sticker from Renz. Thank you as always, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see. The tech being easy. Who's saying Microsoft is not Bing on Windows 11 just came out. This is what I think is the reason. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah,
so he's thinking Windows people trying to see if they qualify to get, if their computer's compatible with Windows 11.
Yeah, see, I knew mine was, so I got it on day one.
So they were on Microsoft. Oh, I see what you mean. So in order to get the Windows 11 update, they had to download it from Microsoft. I get you, Luis.
Oh yeah, so that would make it jump up a lot. That's true.
All in all, though,
and he's saying WhatsApp has a web app in beta. I didn't know that. Okay.
All in all, though, I'm still saying what I've been saying. Trump should have banned that thing before that should have been his signing memento before he left the office. Just give TikTok the boot.
Eleanor loves TikTok. She finds an awful lot of Christian stuff there.
That's when you know something's about to go to shit, when no people start jumping on the bandwagon.
Eleanor, you hear that? You hear this young puppy insulting you?
It's the same thing that happened to Facebook. Facebook was all good, was just the school kids, and as soon as the adults came on board, then the scandal started happening.
Yeah, I always tell people, you want to find the old folks, go look at Facebook. That's true. Anyway, you want to read the rest of this, or are we done?
Yeah. Let's see. How much is there? Did I leave out? Let's see. Yeah, I'll read the rest. Meta's platform, Facebook, remains by far the most widely used social network with 2.9 billion monthly active users as of September and 1.9 daily users.
It's a lot of users.
Yep. According to Cloudflare, more than 1 billion users sign on to scroll TikTok monthly, many of them children and teenagers. Poor youth. The platform has also
and a great grandma.
The platform has also quickly become integral in advancing the careers of some today's most visible entertainers, like Lil Nas X. Really? Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not on TikTok. TikTok is about entertainment and bringing joy. TikTok's head of public policy for North America, Michael Beckerman, told CBS Mornings, "You put a premium on authentic content, uplifting content, but like all entertainment, you want to watch with moderation. And we put tools in place like take a break video." Eleanor, if that's true. Do they tell her to take a break?
I was going to ask her about that. Yeah,
I have never heard of a video site saying take a break. The only platform that I know that says take a break is Netflix's rude ass when they say, "Hey, are you still watching?" Like,
Apple will send you something to tell you to take a break once in a while on my phone.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
it's very occasional, but I've seen it once or twice. Oh, and in China, they started monitoring the teenagers using TikTok last month or the month before last. Well, the latest story I saw yesterday, teenagers are not allowed to be on TikTok in China more than 45 minutes at a time, and they keep track of it. So,
sorry, just one moment.
Okay, the Sharfin says Ted is correct. Even Facebook admits that the average user is over 40 or even 50. I totally understand that. I started noticing people, in my age category, in Eleanor's age category, 15 years ago, maybe. So.
Okay, let me go back to the story. Although TikTok has become wildly popular like other social media platforms, it has also sparked, no kidding, yeah.
Nothing new there.
In October, a Tennessee school district blamed TikTok for a rash of vandalism incidents in classrooms, bathrooms, and hallways. Some children have suffered serious injuries and even died after taking on challenges they saw on TikTok. A TikTok representative did not respond to a request for comment. Separately, the Trump administration banned TikTok. It was one of his greatest things he's ever done, in my opinion, because some of the it's a tie for me between that and getting rid of the mandate for Obama, the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, I agree. But Biden flipped it, so it didn't matter.
Let's see. Because some lawmakers were concerned that the app was being used by the Chinese government to collect personal data on Americans, TikTok later said its data on Americans is stored on U.S. soil. It is not shared with Chinese officials. President Joe Biden lifted Trump's ban in June.
Yep. So interesting. Oh, now, since we just read that, especially about the child safety questions, I'm going to pull up the last story I had because it's very relevant.
What does that tell you, though? Like, if China is limited, even China, where a Chinese company, ByteDance, is like, they realize that, they got to limit the TikTok.
Yeah,
but we're not taking cues.
It's not ByteDance that made them limited. It's the government themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like ByteDance is a Chinese company, and even the Chinese is like, all right, it's time to rein it in. Like, this is too much.
Okay, here, wait. Let me go to this last story I had, which is the Alexa story. Let me read, because this story I was going to use last week, and then I realized I wasn't doing a live stream last week, but this story was all over the place I even saw it on an India news show that I watch. So, but this is very relevant to what we were just talking about. And I took this from BBC News, but everybody and his brother had this story last week. But this is interesting. Alexa tells 10-year-old girl to touch live plug with penny. And this is true. This really happened. Amazon has updated its Alexa voice assistant after it challenged a 10-year-old girl to touch a coin to the prongs of a half-inserted plug. The suggestion came after the girl asked Alexa for a challenge to do. Plug in a phone charger about halfway into a wall outlet, then touch a penny to the exposed prongs. The smart speaker said, "This was absolutely true." Her mother put it out on Twitter, and there are pictures of them out there. Amazon said it fixed the error as soon as the company became aware of it. The girl's mother, Kristen Livdahl, described the incident on Twitter. She said, "We were doing some physical challenges like laying down and rolling over and holding a shoe in your foot from a physical education teacher on YouTube earlier. Bad weather outside, she just wanted another one." That's when the Echo speaker suggested partaking in the challenge that it had found on the web. And guess where they think it came from? The dangerous activity known as the penny challenge began circulating on TikTok and other social media websites about a year ago. So they asked Alexa for this challenge. Alexa went down out and found it on TikTok and said, "Here, go for it." Metals conduct electricity, and inserting them into a live electrical sockets can cause electric shocks, fires, and other damage. "I know you can lose fingers, hands, and arms," Michael Klosker, station manager at Carlisle East Fire Station, told the press newspaper in Yorkshire. "The outcome from this is that someone will get seriously hurt." Ms. Livdahl tweeted that she intervened, yelling, "No, Alexa, no." However, she said her daughter was too smart for something like that. She was 10 years old. And Amazon told the BBC in a statement that it had updated Alexa to prevent the assistant recommending such activity in the future. It makes you wonder what else might it recommend. Customer trust is at the center of everything we do, and Alexa is designed to provide accurate, relevant, and helpful information to customers. As soon as we became of this error, we took swift action to fix it. So I just thought that to me was an amazing story. Thank God the kid and the mother were there, but still, I mean,
stupid.
They just went, Alexa just went out there and found that on TikTok. I said, "Okay, here's a challenge. If it kills you, well, tough luck."
Yeah, but oh my gosh. And I actually got my nephew and nieces. How old are they? I think they're like 5 and 3. Or
you're supposed to know this stuff, Ted.
But yeah, no, I got them an Amazon Echo, the Echo Dot. So hope, and the nephew, the older one, is loving it apparently.
Okay, well, hopefully he doesn't go for too many challenges.
Hopefully,
too many weird challenges.
Yeah, but what was that? Something. So put Ted is correct. Yeah, Shark FinTech was talking about YouTube. You've been watching for XX hours. Perhaps take a break feature, but it's easy to shut off. Is it on by default, SharkFin? Because I have never seen that warning before.
Yeah, Ren says I always turn that feature off from all my apps. Even my smartwatch tells me to move my ass, but not moving for an hour. Yes, and both of my watches do the same thing.
Yeah, the watches, because they're trying to pretend to be fitness devices, but exactly. I've never seen YouTube or Amazon Prime Video, HBO. Like they've never told me hey, you're watching too much. Take a break.
Yeah, the only one I've seen it from is on either from my iPhone or my Apple Watch, but I don't think I've seen it from anything else.
But I don't want to put too much I don't want to put too much be unfair to TikTok about the challenges though. Stupid challenges have been around before TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. But TikTok is the most popular now. That is true. And a lot of young people follow it. Yeah.
And also TikTok is very good at spreading it like wildfire.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
But yeah, remember YouTube? What was the disastrous YouTube one? The Tide Pod challenge?
I don't remember that.
The Tide Pods, where I think the challenge was to literally put a Tide Pod in your mouth, the detergent, and eat it.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. Okay, yeah. Well, I'd rather do that than stick a penny on some prongs sticking out of the wall plugged in.
Yeah,
I think.
Actually, no, I don't want to. I'd rather not do any.
Okay, since I just read that story, you want to do the BlackBerry story?
Oh, the story that you read, was that the last week one?
No. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was the last week one. But yeah, but the next
Yeah.
story up would have been BlackBerry.
All right. Since I'm the between the two of us, I was the one who we most recently had a BlackBerry.
Okay, and this is this actually was official 3 days ago. So whenever you're ready, this is on wired.com.
Let me put on reader mode.
Yeah, let me give them full screen.
The end of BlackBerry phones is finally truly here by John Timmer of Ars Technica. BlackBerry, the company that once dominated smart mobile devices, recently announced it is finally discontinuing key services that support its phones. As of today, the phones will no longer be provided with provisioning services, meaning they will gradually lose the ability to join networks, including the cellular network. It may seem difficult to imagine if you weren't using cell phones at the time, but BlackBerry once ruled the smartphone market. Its keyboard-based hardware was widely adopted in corporate settings, in part because the services it provided typically ran through BlackBerry servers, allowing for high levels of security and control. An indication of its importance is that early internal builds of Android looked like a cheap BlackBerry knockoff rather than the cheap iPhone knockoff that was eventually released. Unlike the people who developed Android, BlackBerry's leadership was blindsided by the iPhone's popularity. BlackBerry dismissed on-screen keyboards and counted on its stranglehold on corporate services for market share. The company took over a year after the iPhone's release to come out with its own touchscreen phone, and its own software remained an awkward mix of old and new for some time after. In the meantime, corporate users fell in love with their Apple and Android phones and compelled IT departments to support them.
That's true.
BlackBerry eventually gave up on its own phones and started releasing Android versions before exiting the hardware business entirely. It now primarily provides corporate security services. The last version of the BlackBerry OS it released dates back to 2013, so the devices affected here are now extremely old. The promised period of support actually ended over a year ago, which means that the company has already over-delivered on its promises.
That's true.
The effect of the end of support is detailed in a FAQ page that the former device maker is hosting. The key change is that the BlackBerry will no longer be sending out provisioning updates to these devices. Provisioning information provides details on how the devices should establish connections with different types of network equipment, including cellular and Wi-Fi networks. At some indeterminate point in the future, network updates made by service providers will mean that BlackBerry devices can no longer connect. As a result, BlackBerry says its devices will no longer be expected to be reliably function, including for data, phone calls, SMS, and 911 calls. There are a handful of software services that relied on connections to BlackBerry servers in order to function. So if you relied on something like BlackBerry World or BlackBerry Link, those will stop functioning today.
That was 3 days ago.
Yeah, this actually took place on January 4th, guys. So the number of people likely to be affected by this is vanishingly small.
That's
Still,
true.
it serves as a clear marker of the end of what was once a very significant technology.
Yeah, so I just thought, hey, this is a momentous thing, So I've never had a BlackBerry ever.
Oh, wow.
But I'm one of the few. Most people I know have. I just thought it was interesting. Let me check the comments. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Renz and Missy are still talking about the software notifying you. Okay. And let's see, what does Renz say? If it does, because I had to go into settings to turn it off. You have more than a life than I sometimes do. See, Missy said she had a BlackBerry for a decade. She misses those devices. Let's see. Gary, didn't know you in here, brother. Welcome. Yeah, he's got a 9900. Yep. Yeah, people just seem to put their BlackBerries in the drawer and just keep them. You still have yours, Ted?
No, I sold mine, sadly.
Okay.
What did I sell it? Why did I sell it? Was it for an iPhone or?
Yeah, Shark Fintan, he used to love. Yeah, everybody I knew that had a BlackBerry loved them. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
but I really did like that key too. It was one of the best
Yeah,
devices for making phone calls.
that's what everybody said. Everybody in my
And
job had them except me.
I've been trying to look for the Red Key 2. That's a beautiful looking phone.
What's the red key two?
Yeah, the BlackBerry Key
Oh,
2.
the key two. Okay, in red.
Yeah,
I got you.
they made a red one. I think that was limited edition. Like the only guy who I see walking around with his is Juan, and he's not
Okay.
going to let go of that phone. So he tells me
Well, did
anytime
you
soon.
look on eBay or swap it?
Yeah, some guy put one up on auction for eBay for like $1,000. I'm like,
Yeah,
too much
no
for my blood.
thanks. Yeah. Okay. I'm going on to T-Mobile. Now, again, this is a story from last month, but my impression is not many people knew about this, so I just thought I should let people know it happened. Now, keep in mind, this is on a Phone Arena. Come on. Wait, okay. And this was T-Mobile's second data breach in like 4 or 5 months. Anyway, T-Mobile welcomed Christmas with its second data breach in less than 6 months by Adrian Diasconescu. Huh, I said it right. Wow, I'm amazed myself. All right, I'm going to read a view. Okay, they start with an update. The confirmation we've been waiting for has arrived, although as far as we can tell, T-Mobile has yet to put out any kind of official statement on this thorny matter on its website or social media channels. Instead, the Un-carrier responded to Bleeping Computer's request for a reaction to the leaked documents from earlier this week, predictably highlighting the very small number of customers that were recently informed of one of two issues or both at the same time connected to their accounts. Now, the good thing here is compared to the big data breach they had back in, I think it was September, this one was way smaller. And I gather they contacted every single person that was affected in this one. Specifically, some folks may have had their SIM cards illegally reassigned. I mean, somebody just snatched your SIM card, while others' limited account information was viewed by a presumably unidentified bad actor. Just in case that doesn't sound scary enough, it sure looks like T-Mobile still doesn't know exactly how all of this could have happened, disappointingly claiming that the unauthorized SIM swaps are unfortunately a common industry-wide occurrence. I don't buy that, as if that would ever appease an impacted user. For what it's worth, Magenta is insisting the issue was quickly corrected. Well, yeah, they'd have to if people are getting their SIM cards snatched, with additional protective measures then proactively being put in place to keep your data as safe as possible going forward. The original story falls below. T-Mobile may have enjoyed another solid year in terms of subscriber growth, 5G network expansion, speed boosts, and various other technological breakthroughs and advancements. But when it comes to customer support, and especially security, 2021 has been a time of worrying decline and a tidal wave of negative publicity for the once mighty Un-carrier. The good news is the account information viewed without authorization and presumably stolen this time around is not quite as extensive as during the previous breach with no social security numbers, birth dates, or personal identification compromised. Yes, and in the original one, all that stuff was snatched from some people, a lot of people. In any way, at least to Magenta's current leaked knowledge. The even better news is that the number of people impacted by the latest cyber attack seems to be a lot smaller than the tens of millions of current, former, and prospective T-Mobile subscribers that had to suffer through the consequences of the carrier's negligence just a few months ago. On the not so bright side of things, those who did have their accounts breached sometime over the last few weeks should be extremely worried of how their personal information has or will be unlawfully used in the future. Sure. This I couldn't make a whole lot of sense out of. But They said we're talking a small number of customers with billing account names, phone numbers, and numbers of active lines. That's scary. Account numbers, rate plans, names, and MRCs, monthly recurring charges, compromised, as well as another small number of customers whose SIM cards were changed without their permission. That's heavy duty.
Yep.
Worse yet, a presumably smaller separate group of T-Mobile customers were impacted by both attack types. Wow. Suffering a so-called SIM swap and losing control of all that personal info listed above with potentially catastrophic consequences. I can see where that would be. For what it's worth, T-Mobile did apparently reverse all the SIM swap incidents. Yeah, but I would think that would have been pretty easy for them to do, while notifying every single affected customer, which makes it a little weird that the new breach doesn't seem to be publicly acknowledged in any way, at least at the time of this writing. And that's why I brought the story up. Very few people seem to even know this happened. And I guess it happened to so fewer people, nobody made a big deal, I guess. But to me, it was a big deal to the people who were affected. Unfortunately, these small-scale incidents are actually pretty frequent occurrences in this day and age. But of course, T-Mobile will have to live with being scrutinized a little closer than usual for a while after this year's completely unprecedented hack. And that's true. So anyway, I just wanted to bring it to the attention of any of you who didn't know that they had been hacked in December. But I do gather that every single person affected was contacted. So.
Oh yeah, that's good. They were probably only contacted though because it was such a small number of people.
Yeah. Back to the.
But yeah, SIM spoofing is actually could be really bad, especially for sites that use two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Get hardware keys, folk. Get hardware keys.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Ren's got busy, and let's see. Sharkman said it. I think I showed that one before. Missy said the BB Curve, several versions, BBQ10 and the Torch. I don't know the Torch. You know the Torch?
Yeah,
BlackBerry
I think the Torch was the first slider phone that BlackBerry made.
Okay.
It was also I think the first it was either the first or the second touchscreen.
Okay. And Gary's being nice. Gary, you're out of character. He hopes they make a comeback. Just kidding, Gary.
The Torch, I think, is actually, now that I think about it, it's the second BlackBerry device that came out with a touchscreen for phone.
Okay.
With the keyboard as well. That did well, though. I didn't really like it, to be honest. It was too big.
Shark Princess.
While we're on BlackBerry, though, whatever did happen to Onward Mobility, time wasters, vaporware. Do you remember them? Onward Mobility, they were supposed to come out with a BlackBerry device last year. No? I never covered that story. We covered that story, didn't we?
I don't remember. it. Maybe we might have.
Could have sworn we covered that story.
Well, we probably did. I'm an old fart. You got to remember that.
But yeah, they were supposed to. They were a new company, Onward Mobility. They got the license from BlackBerry to make, devices with the BlackBerry logo. And they were, what hardware company did they use to make the phones? They said they had Foxtech to make the devices.
Who the heck is Foxtech?
Or Foxconn.
Oh, Foxconn. Okay.
Foxconn, yeah.
Okay, at least I know them.
But yeah, we've heard nothing. Heard or seen nothing.
And you know what Billy Preston said? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
What's his name? Adam, I think his name. Tech Odyssey. He loves BlackBerry devices.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He came out with an update on their behalf, and this is where I just eye roll. Like he's a company spokesperson. Like apparently they're not dead.
Okay.
Like if we go to their website now, like I went to the website like this Monday or Tuesday. Actually, when did I go to I went on the website January 4th, and they were still showing stuff from 2021. Like nothing's been going on the site.
Well, nothing will be going on soon, that's for sure.
I get, 2021 has been a bad year for putting out hardware devices, but Jesus, I get the impression that there really is nothing. Like they haven't shown us on what the phone was gonna look like, or features this phone will offer. Like for all I know, there is literally no plan.
Yeah, I think they just better stick with the security stuff. And it wasn't a bad year for hardware devices for some companies, that's for sure. So,
Like,
I get the Z Flips are selling like crazy, and Pixel is advertising left and right. So which is what I told Will would happen. He didn't believe me, but I'm seeing Pixel commercials on TV all the time.
Me too. Yeah, I do see them actually.
Yeah.
Secure. Oh, speaking of, actually, should I share my screen on this? Well, no, there's nothing to see on this Onward Mobility website. Secure your spot in line. Like, there's nothing.
Share it, I'll put it up.
When available, how many devices do you anticipate procuring? They go from 1 to 4 and up to 1,000 plus. But you guys have some nerve to be asking, like, how many devices do you intend on procuring? And you haven't told us anything.
Yeah,
like,
good luck with that.
Yeah, Freedom Phone is doing better than you guys. Jesus. You remember them, George.
That's a sad comment. That's a really sad comment.
Freedom Phone is doing better than you guys.
Yeah, they probably are.
But actually, there was I don't know if you've been on the Glowing Rectangles subreddit.
I was on there yesterday, but I only had a second and I didn't see much. What's his name had the top story? I remember that. What's his name? Brother. I can't think of his name. Anyway, so yeah, I was on there. What? Something good?
Yeah, there's been a poll, like, for the past month.
That one has been running. Yeah.
Yeah, the poll, the brand that had the best year, the smartphone brand that has the best year. I think it was 2 days ago. It was between Google and it was like 20 out of 20 phone brands.
Okay.
2 days ago, it was between Google and Sony, and then as of yesterday, Sony won. Sony beat Google. Sony beat, according to the people. The people voted. Sony had a better year than Google, Xiaomi. What's it? OnePlus.
If Google hadn't had all these issues with the Pixel, and like I said, some of us have had no issues, but this stuff has gotten a lot of press, so that probably hurt.
Yeah, but at least Google's been able to put out product. Like, yes, I know, they've gone out of stock sometimes, but I'm still waiting to see the Xperia 5 Mark III from Sony.
If I could afford one of those Sony phones, I would have bought one, but I'm not paying. What is it, $1,500 or something like that?
No, I think you want the 1 Mark III. That's $1,300.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I refuse to spend that kind of money on the second Duo, so I'm not going to spend it on Sony either. So I'm glad I passed on the second Duo and opted for the Flip. I love that phone.
So, but yeah, you still have your first Duo, right?
Yes, that's sitting over there. And
to be honest,
I use it when I'm riding the bicycle in here. Sometimes I take that dual screen and open it up and stretch it across and watch football or something while I'm riding a bicycle.
Yeah. To be honest, I would choose the first Duo over the Duo 2 personally.
Okay.
Being able to fold it flat sounds more appealing.
I like that very much.
Oh, so nice.
Okay.
Thank you for the sticker, Renz. You're not here on the chat anymore, but
he got busy at work. So I'm sure he's still on, but he's just busy at work. I don't know what Renz does, but I get the impression it has to be something technical, like a programmer or tech support or a hardware guy or something like that. Okay, the next story up is the Snapdragon. Oh yeah, I'll take this one. So since we debuted the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think it was. So 9 to 5 Google came up with a story about which phones will actually have, this is the newest, hottest chip from Qualcomm. So I thought I'd throw this story in and let you guys get a look at what phones are expecting to have it this year. So Here's every smartphone confirmed to use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip. It's by Damian Wild. And that was just, it says today's date, but I pulled it up yesterday. All right, I'm going into reader view. After Qualcomm announced and detailed the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, it didn't take long for Android OEMs to confirm that they will slap the latest and greatest CPU in their smartphones. Here's what you need to know. Designed to be the go-to flagship smartphone chip over the next 12 months, it should come as no surprise that a host of manufacturers have jumped at the chance to tell everyone they'll utilize the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in their hardware. While we can speculate about upcoming devices, even though Google's Hiroshi Lockheimer appeared on stage at the keynote, the future for Pixel is Tensor across the board. The rest of the Android smartphone industry is still going to be adopting Qualcomm's chips for the foreseeable future. A few vendors are trying to claim they will be the first to market with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 smartphone. But what matters more is just what devices we'll see with it inside. Here's the confirmed list so far. Xiaomi 12.1, Motorola 30, Realme GT2 Pro, Oppo Find X4, OnePlus 10 series. IQ, do you know how to say that, or is it just IQ00?
I would just say IQ.
Okay. 9 series, I don't know them. And Samsung Galaxy S22 series.
That's a surprise.
Well, I think when I did the first story, Samsung said they'd be using it. But remember, the first story highlighted the fact that that chip can listen to you all the time. And would the manufacturers turn that off? You know, that's what made me pull up the story in the first place. Anyway, so the first one will be the Xiaomi 12 series. Chinese smartphone giant Xiaomi was the first third-party vendor to confirm that will be using the latest chip during Qualcomm's live stream keynote unveiling. Last year, the Xiaomi Mi 11 series was the first to ship. Oh, I've got a ladybug in here with the Snapdragon 888 series. This time around, the Mi has dropped the Xiaomi hope that they can beat other players to the market with the Xiaomi 12 series, updated 2 days ago. The Xiaomi 12 series has been launched with the smartphones touting 120-watt fast charging, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, plus a number of other enticing hardware features. So I guess theirs must have come out in China 2 days ago. And that's what it looks like, the Xiaomi 12 series. There's more with the cameras. There's the front. Not much going on in front. Okay. It's important to note this latest smartphone series consists of 3 different and distinct devices, 12, 12X, and 12 Pro. The 12 and 12 Pro pack flagship specs with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, up to 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 of storage and 5G. Disappointedly, the Xiaomi 12 series is only available in mainland China, with pricing starting at CNY 31.99 for the 12X, CNY 36.99. I did look that up, and that was like 600 and some bucks here for the Xiaomi 12 for those who want to import. And the 46.99 for the 12 Pro. Pre-orders open December 30th, but expect to learn more details on the global release in the coming weeks. So I guess we'll be able to report that if you want. Xiaomi confirmed that China will be the first market. Okay, they already did. And 12/23. All right, so we know it's out in China. Now, the Motorola Edge X30 update. This is all the way back to last month, 10th. Motorola has officially unveiled the Edge X30, which is the very first Android phone to come. So they were first with the brand new chipset, which is set to go on sale from December 15th in China. Again, just China. Joining the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset is 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM, 128 to 256 of internal storage. The battery weighs in at 5,000 milliamps with fast charging speed at 68 up to 68 watts. At the rear of the Moto Edge X30, there's a triple camera setup that consists of a 50 megapixel main, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, that's unusual, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The selfie camera is said to be rated at a whopping 60 megapixels, but it's unclear if the sensor is used for all versions of this device. So pricing starts at $502 for the 8 gigabyte 256. Well, the 12 256 will cost, $533. Seems reasonable enough to me. Special edition is priced at $627. I wonder what separates that. Both the Edge X30 and Edge X30 Special Edition are expected to go on sale in China from December 15th. I would think by sometime next month we're going to be seeing it here. Blah, blah, blah. All right, Realme GT2 Pro. And Realme is one of those, it seems like a lot of people import it. So this is from 2 days ago. The Realme G2 Pro is now official and is the highest end Realme device ever unveiled. Of course, it brings with it Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, but the spec sheet looks very enticing to say the least. The high-end Realme G2 Pro launch even showcased the 6.7-inch device complete with a slightly curved 120 Hz QHD Plus LTPO AMOLED display. Powering the screen is a combination of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM, and 128, 256 to 512 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, while the battery capacity is capped at 5,000 milliamps with 65-watt fast charging supported here too. As we have previously mentioned, it comes with that headline paper-inspired bio-based polymer, which has been designed by Japanese industrial designer Nakato Fukasawa, but it will be offered in a more standard matte glass back version. The Realme G2 Pro also features one of the most impressive camera setups from the OEM with a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 main sensor, 50 megapixel 150-degree ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel. I'd like to see you have this, Ted, because you're the guy who could tell us if it was really any good. The selfie camera is rated at an impressive 32 megapixels here too. As with many of the first wave Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 smartphones, the Realme GT2 Duo is currently only available in China, but Realme has confirmed that the G2 series will debut in Europe soon. Pricing starts at 3,899 yuan, so that's 600 and something, high 600 and something, I believe. 8 gigabytes, 128, and up to 4,799 for the 512 version. After a strange soft launch, the Realme G2 Pro is set to be fully unveiled during a January 4th keynote in China, so that was 3 days ago again. The device was also showcased with a unique bio-based polymer design that is said to feel like paper to the touch. And I think Lou, I think he did a video on it because I saw him do something about a paper-filling phone, so it had to be that, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. You know, unbox therapy I'm talking about. Bio-based polymers are materials that utilize renewable materials. In most cases, these materials are derived from plants. Have you heard
Why
of these?
would I want my smartphone to feel like paper?
I don't know, but I guess we'll have to watch Lou and find out. But I remember seeing it, but I never got a chance to click on it to look at the video.
Yeah, sure. Maybe if Lou likes it, he can create a case that feels like paper and pretend that he came up with the idea.
Are you still on that? Give it a break. Hey, I gather his cases have been selling pretty well, so I think he's happy. The official render saw a drastically different design to the one shared previously that hinted at a design more akin to the Nexus 6P, so I gather it doesn't look like a 6P. It's unclear at this stage if we may see a version of the Realme G2 Pro to adopt a visor-like design, but Realme confirmed that the triple camera setup will include 150-degree wide-angle camera for the first time on a small. Doesn't this sound kind of interesting to a photography guy, or am I reading this wrong?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
I read I covered the, what was it called? Snapdragon's image ISP processor on Clubhouse.
Okay.
And yeah, Juan came in the room, and like at first I was excited, but when Juan came in the room, I was less excited.
Well, Juan's a real expert.
But so apparently, like when when there's a new chip and Snapdragon, like advertises or touts the features that it can do.
Right.
Yeah, I just couldn't help but notice that the features that it says like, hey, like, with this image signal processor, like, like our cameras are capable of doing, shooting at 4K 120 and things like that.
Right.
I couldn't help but notice, like, these features were already done years ago by other brands, like, like Sony was already doing 4K 120 and 960 frames recording. And who was it before that did something new? Like Vivo was doing something new with, like, their 8K HDR recording.
Okay.
And like Juan apparently explained it. It's a bit like with these new image ISP processors, ISP image signal processors.
Right.
What they essentially do is, they essentially look at what brands are doing, video features are doing with their camera apps, and then they bake it in natively into the image signal processor.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
It's pretty much like exactly what Google does with the new Android updates. So let's say like if a brand does something that's unique to them, like like the chop, the gestures, the shortcut gestures,
right?
Like that's unique to their brand, but Google might like it and say, all right, we'll break that into Android so that all phones can get it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's nothing like really new. It's just stuff that can just come. It's just stuff that comes onto the other phones.
Okay, so that's why you were less excited.
Yeah, so I'm less excited.
So have you ever had any of those phones that have those features so far or not?
4K 120? No, I'm still on 4K 60. Have I had a phone that did 8K? The LG V60 did 8K.
Yeah, this does 8K.
Which what? The Ultra?
The Ultra, yeah. I don't know what I'd watch it on, but I have a 4K TV. I'm not spending the money for an 8K TV. Anyway, interesting. I like to have your insights because I would have never had these insights without you being here. All right. They just barely mentioned the Oppo Find X4. Oppo has been steadily creating impressive Android devices in recent years, and the revisioned re-imaging Find X series is one such example. The current generation is powered by the Snapdragon 888, and Oppo has confirmed that the Find X4 will utilize the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 as you'd expect. So I guess they don't even know when that's coming.
And that's another thing too. I noticed, like 4K 120 has been a very, very few phones have been doing it. It's just literally been Sony with the One Mark III,
right,
and OnePlus with the 9 and 9 Pro, or maybe it's just the 9 Pro.
Okay, Sony was first, right? I remember last year.
Yeah, Sony were they first?
First that I know of.
Sony was, I don't know. It depends. Like Sony was first, but they limited it to a slow-mo, so you couldn't play the 120 frames in real time. You could only get it in slow motion. Right. OnePlus 9 Pro was the first to give it to you in real time, 120 hertz.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking back to like even 4K 60. I don't see phones that do it reliably well besides
but
my iPhone 11.
Yeah, but I think they've been getting better.
Have they? I think that they've gotten worse. Like the Pixel 5a, people were complaining that its 4K 60 wasn't so good. It overheated.
No, it does, and it does overheat sometimes.
Like I think with the smartphones of 2021, besides the iPhone 13 or maybe even the iPhone 13, phones that were doing 4K recording at 4K 60, especially in hot weather, they were overheating.
Not the Samsung phones, as far as I know. I haven't had any of them overheat.
Do you know that they were recording in 4K 60?
Yes, I did videos with them recording.
I mean, except the Galaxy S Ultra. Because that's the one that Samsung
I
made
think I did one with the flip already, or did I? Wait, I'm looking to see video. I'm looking on here right now. Let's see.
Let's see.
I could have swore I've already done it with this, but I'm not positive.
Let's see.
I know this has never overheated on me.
Have you ever done it?
Here it is.
Were you recording during the summer with the flip?
No, I'm wrong. It goes up to 4K 30, but not 60.
The flip 2 doesn't have 4K 60.
The flip 3.
The flip 3 doesn't have 4K 60.
Yeah, let me double check that again.
Okay, I am.
Yeah, no, it only goes up to 4K 30.
Really? You sure not doing anything? Let me double check.
It has 60 at regular, but there's no 4K 60 on here.
GSM Arena specs. What's it called?
Where I always go.
Galaxy Flip 3.
Z Flip 3. Yeah. Anyway, if it's on here, I don't see it because I just scrolled across all the modes it has.
Let's see. Main camera. Video. It says it can do 4K 60. Yeah.
Why am I not seeing it in the camera?
And 200 frames a second at 1080p.
Let me go back into the camera app. Okay, I'm in video. The highest thing I have on here is 4K 30. Now, let's see if I go into more. Is there something else that I'm missing?
Is Samsung maybe limiting the flow?
Wait, there's a pro video mode, which I haven't used at all. Whenever I do my comparisons, I just use...
maybe you have to go to pro video mode.
Yeah, 4K. I'm not seeing it, but yeah, the phone arena says it's there. It must be there somewhere. But no, that's FHD. HD 30. Oh wait a minute, I might have it. UH30. Yes, it does. If you go into Pro mode, it has UHD. It has 4K 60.
Okay.
So you're right. So then that's why I didn't do it. I never go into Pro mode when I'm doing my comparison, but I guess I will when I make the next video with that one. So you just taught me something. That's a good thing. Let me check the comments. Might have been missing stuff.
Let's see. I think Sharkfin says he wants to go to the Philippines to spread COVID to Renz.
Nice. Let me see what these guys have been saying. Okay, here. Let's see. Okay, I already saw that one. Saw that. Sharkfin, don't let Mr. Renz fool you. He's probably enjoying the high life out there in the beautiful Philippines. Okay. Renz says, I'm just a regular employee. I promise you that.
Doesn't that sound sketchy when you say, like, I'm just a regular human being, just like you?
I mean, in my career as a programmer, I have always said I'm just a peon who enjoys being a peon because I tend not to like big shots. And they tend not to like me, so that always works out just fine. Mr. Renz, cool beans, I'm just busting you. We would love to visit the Philippines one of these days if we can ever get to a better place with this pandemic. Well, that's probably true. Okay. He liked that. Okay. Anyway, the last one, no, not the last thing. OnePlus 10 series, I'm not going to go any more in depth with this, but OnePlus 10 series will use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. And I think that just got announced.
Was it this week? I think it was this week.
I believe, yeah, in the last couple of days, I think the OnePlus 10 is actually out. And then the IQ 9 series.
Go back to the specs. The specs.
Okay. Okay, full spec sheet of the OnePlus 10 contains very few surprises, but it is set to come with Super VOOC. What is that? Oh, rather than warp drive. Is that
There's
something
super,
new?
there's super VOOC charge.
Okay.
That's the warp. That's the brand name of their fast charging from Oppo.
Okay,
Oppo
they,
called theirs super VOOC, and
oh yeah,
OnePlus called theirs warp charge. So
okay, so yeah, now they're basically an Oppo. Yeah,
they're
I got it.
merging.
Yeah. However, this is merely a name change, as the technology has remained the same for a number of years at this stage. 5,000 milliamp battery, Hasselblad camera that's set up that consists of a 40 main and a 50 megapixel wide angle and an 8 megapixel telephoto. It will launch with Android 12, but the ColorOS OxygenOS hybrid that has been seen with the somewhat rocky release for the OnePlus 9 series hardware at the turn of the year. For now, the OnePlus 10 Pro is set to launch in China from January 11th. That's right. I did see an article that's going to release next Tuesday. That's right. Rumors suggest the same with the OnePlus. Okay. OnePlus will use a Snapdragon. Okay. So will OnePlus 10 Pro, and so will Oppo. I got it. Okay. Update. Pete Lau has teased that we will see the 10 series much earlier than anticipated. Took to the Chinese network site Weibo to say, see you in January with the head. Well, okay, so it's next Tuesday. That's supposed to debut. Okay, now, is iQOO, is that just something I've missed? Have you heard of it before?
Nope.
Because I haven't. Okay, I hadn't either. I guess there must be an up-and-comer. They're pretty, at least color-wise. I like with the stripe.
That's supposed to be for the BMW, right? That's the BMW M3 series has that stripe. Well, on their racing cars.
Okay, cool. I like it. Limited availability stifles the reach of the iQOO bin, but in certain regions, the BBK, okay, so it's the same as OnePlus and Oppo, is providing impressive smartphones that offer great value and high-end specs.
Doesn't BBK also own Vivo as well?
Yes.
Wow, so 4 now.
Yeah. So I guess this must have been an up-and-comer in China for a while. Now they're coming on out, I guess. The iQOO 9 and 9 Pro are the latest flagship smartphones to confirm uses of the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. The device Duo has been officially unveiled, so this is already out in China with some notable differences between each spec. There is the iQOO 9, which offers a 6.7-inch FHD plus 120 hertz AMOLED display, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, 812 gigabytes of RAM, 256 512 storage. It also includes a 50 megapixel main camera seems to be the big thing all of a sudden.
Yep.
13 megapixel ultra wide and 12 megapixel 2x telephoto. Stepping things up a little, the iQOO 9 Pro comes with a 6.7-inch QHD plus which display, 120 hertz AMOLED LTPO. Yeah, that's a step up display. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM, 128, 256 to 512 gigabytes of storage. Camera setup is bumped here with a 50 megapixel main, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and 16 megapixel 5x telephoto zooms. I would like to have a camera with the 50 on both the megapixel and the wide and the main. I'd like to see what that looks like. Both devices include 47 milliamp batteries. That's kind of small, with 120 wide fast charging included. On top of that, that's pretty good fast charging. They will ship with Origin OS atop Android 12 pre-installed. The one notable here is the inclusion of, you were right, BMW-inspired designs, which may prove popular with the car and technology enthusiasts out there. That means you should buy one, Ted.
Look at Juan is dropping some knowledge in the chat. Apparently, Yuku is a sub-brand of Vivo. I had no idea.
Oh, I had no.
And then Xiaomi Chinese, and then any Redmi was the sub-brand of Xiaomi.
Why am I not finding one in the chat? I don't see one in the chat.
Who said Juan was in the chat?
I thought you said he was in the chat.
Maybe I said Juan. Maybe I said Juan by mistake. No, I meant to say Renz is dropping some knowledge.
Oh, okay, thank you, Renz.
Let's see. Vivo is
Well,
China.
you've been elevated to expert now, Renz.
Yeah. So EQ is for the Indian markets. I see. And Realme is
Okay.
the sub brand for Oppo in the Indian markets.
Okay, but if they're in this, I'm guessing they're going to be trying to go past there. That's my guess. Either in Europe or the US.
Definitely not the US.
You never know.
Xiaomi has been scared of the US market.
Yeah, the couple of Xiaomi's I've had in the phones I've had in the past I liked very much. Of course, they were cheaper phones, but not expensive. But they did very well for what I paid for them.
You're talking about,
Right.
You're thinking about the Xiaomi, what was it, the A1?
I had the A1 and I had the A3. And I liked them both, especially the A3. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, now down here we got the Samsung Galaxy S22 series, and this was updated 2 days ago. No concrete evidence has been shared to confirm or at least allude to the uses of the latest Qualcomm chip in Samsung upcoming flagship lineup. So it's just speculation. However, we still expect that North American buyers will be offered a version that will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 throughout 2022 and beyond. Okay. Official looking renders have at least given us an idea what the Samsung Galaxy S20. Yeah, you've been seeing renders all over the place. Will offer come launch the Galaxy S20 Ultra.
I haven't.
I've seen a few of them. Last week there was a bunch around. Revise the dead Galaxy Note. Yeah, because it's a rebranded Galaxy Note, and there are photos all over the place in a lot of people's articles. Anyway.
Let's see what Sharkfin is saying. What are your thoughts at Mkbhd's Best of 2021 Awards video? It's a bit controversial, as he chose the phone of the year, an iPhone 13 Pro over Pixel for best cameras.
I never even got to watch it yet. I've seen it. It was there a couple of times. I've just been busy and I haven't watched it. So he chose the S21. Somebody else chose the S21 Ultra phone of the year too. And for me, it's very close. I didn't do a video, but for me, when I wanted to do the video and I never got around to making it, for me, I was going to make this my phone of the year simply because for me, it's the most fun phone to use.
Yeah.
And then I was going to make the Pixel 6 Pro and the Ultra a tie. That's how I see it.
I didn't agree with his most. I think he selected the Galaxy S21 Ultra as the most improved, but I didn't agree with that.
That might be true, at least as far as I had the S20, and yeah,
all that was wrong with it was the camera. Was the focusing, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't just all that was wrong with it. It was just a much upgraded camera experience, I think. Because until when I got the Ultra, that topped the iPhone 12 Pro for me. I mean, 12 Pro. I thought the Ultra was better than the 12 Pro, the iPhone 12 Pro for me, camera-wise. All around. I would
agree there too. But I think when he explained it, when Mkbhd explained it, his thoughts for the improved category was, something that wasn't so good, but it got better.
Okay. Yeah.
So
and Marquez is obviously a lot pickier than I am, and more knowledgeable too.
Again, people kept complaining about the Galaxy S20 Ultras. It couldn't focus to save its life.
Right.
But otherwise,
it had a big problem there. Yeah.
Great phone. And all the Galaxy S21 Ultra did was they fixed that with laser autofocus.
They fixed that, but I thought it was. But see, I didn't have the S20 Ultra. I just had the S20.
Did the Galaxy S20 Ultra get bust of the year for that? No.
I don't think so.
No, so I don't really agree with that. I think the most improved.
But remember, when I got the S21 Ultra, I said that was the best phone I ever had up to that point.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you compare I guess you have to decide whether the Galaxy S21 Ultra makes up for some of the losses. Like, does the Galaxy S21 Ultra, does the 21 Ultra have does it take SD card slots? Does it have an SD card slot?
No.
No. Does it have MST payment so you can use it on any card reader with no worries? No, it doesn't.
No.
You lose those two things.
Yes. But see, because I've gotten so used to having phones without SD cards in the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, that would have been a big deal to me. Now it's not anymore.
Yeah. So I didn't agree with the most improved. I would have picked something like the Pixel 6 over comparing it to the Pixel 4.
And I would even
that would have
the
been my
Pixel
most
6
improved
Pro
pick.
compared to the 5A, which I have here. I would probably pick the Pixel 6 Pro as the most improved phone for me of the year. And that would make more sense to me. So, like I say, he has more knowledge about it than I do. So, okay, I got one last story. You want to read it?
And for best cameras, iPhone 13 Pro. I mean, for video, definitely iPhone 13 Pro over the Pixels.
Yes, I didn't get an iPhone 13. So you got the. I'm clicking on. This is.
I kind of do. Do I mean, again, for videos, I would agree. iPhones, especially with the ProRes codec, over the Pixels. However, for still photos, I would pick the Pixel over the iPhones, especially when it comes to the crop sensor.
So would I. But I think the Ultra can match either one of them. And both just about pictures with the Pixel, but certainly I think it matches video with the iPhone 12 Pro, but I haven't had the iPhone 13s at all. So.
Yep. So those are our thoughts. Those are our thoughts, Sharkfin.
Yep. All right. You going to read this last one with the Mediatek?
Yes. Because this is the reason why I wasn't so keen on the Snapdragon.
Yeah, I have avoided Mediateks from the beginning. This is the first time I think, okay, if they come up with one that I want to spend the money for, I may get one. So
yeah, I mean, you and I in the same boat. I didn't really give a damn about Mediatek until like they came out with the Velvet, the Mediatek Velvet variant, which apparently was much better than the what was it? The LG Velvet with the 765 processor.
Okay, which is what I have. Yeah. Okay, this was on Android Central, and this is by Harish Janalagada, who you'll find him often on the Android Central podcast, and this guy really knows his stuff. He lives in India, but this guy is quite expert. So whenever you're ready. Let me go to.
Yep. So with the Dimensity 9000, Mediatek finally has a shot at beating Qualcomm. There's a unified theme across the best Android phones of 2021. They're all feature Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 platform, for better or worse. Sure, the Galaxy S21 in global market features Samsung's Exynos 2100, but Qualcomm has an outside share in the high-end segment. Qualcomm extended its lead in this segment on the back of robust designs along with marketing efforts. The Snapdragon name has a strong recall in key markets like India and China. While Exynos and Huawei's HiSilicon have tried to make a dent in Qualcomm's dominance, they haven't quite managed to do so in the high-end category. Then there's MediaTek. The Taiwanese manufacturer relies on budget and mid-range categories, but it's increasingly turning to the flagship tier. The Dimensity 9000 is its best showing yet, with the platform featuring ARM's latest cores, a new neural engine, and a decent 5G modem. In fact, the Dimensity 9000 has a lot of similarities to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Both chipsets use the same core cluster, are built on a 4-nanometer node, and include the latest imaging, multimedia, and connectivity innovations.
That makes sense because, a 4-nanometer node, that's got to be pretty good, you would think.
That's a brand I haven't heard of in a while. It's Mizu. 3 years ago, it would have been unthinkable to compare media chipset to an equivalent Qualcomm offering, particularly in the high-end segment. Well, I don't think MediaTek made a high-end segment.
I agree. 3 years ago, they didn't.
So MediaTek's first foray in this category was the Helio X30, a 10-core behemoth built on a 10-nanometer node. The Helio X30 was a shambolic launch for MediaTek. Released in the much fanfare in 2017, the Helio X30 not only failed to measure up to what Qualcomm offered at the time, the Snapdragon 835, but it also had issues with overheating efficiency, making it a non-starter.
Okay.
It's no wonder then that the Helio X30 faded into ignominy shortly after its debut. Other than the Meizu 7 series and the Chinese exclusive Verni Apollo 2, MediaTek wasn't able to secure any design wins. Sarvan Kunjujala, director at Strategy Analytics Handset Component Technology, what kind of name is that?
No.
Says the X30 was a setback for MediaTek. The chip wasn't efficient and it had a weak LTE modem that wasn't anywhere close to what Qualcomm was offering at the time. As a result, volumes were low and the X30 ended up being a failure for MediaTek.
And I remember when it came out because they did make a big deal out of it. I remember that.
So I was looking at your guys' comments. MediaTek turnaround started soon after the X30 debacle. Kundo Jala points to MediaTek's decision to abandon its LTE modem efforts, where it wasn't making much headway against Qualcomm, and instead focus on 5G being the differentiator. In doing so, MediaTek was able to roll out a slew of 5G-enabled designs aimed at the budget and mid-range segments. MediaTek was quick to launch 5G chipsets, and it paid off, and it saw a threefold increase in sales in 2021. MediaTek didn't have a chipset with a gigabit LTE modem, but their shift to 5G meant they were able to deliver chipsets just as 5G services started to take off in markets in China. 2020 in particular was a landmark year for MediaTek because they showed that they could do something on par with Qualcomm, and the strategy paid off. According to figures shared by Strategy Analytics, MediaTek sold almost 50 chipsets in 2020, with 5G-enabled designs making up a bulk of the orders. They weren't hurting on the revenue front either. MediaTek's 4G-enabled chipsets will be sold for around $10 with 5G. They were able to charge $30 for their mid-range designs. The momentum has carried over into 2021, with MediaTek posting sales of $150 million, which is 3 times more than last year.
Cool.
A lot of what has to do with is the fact that the manufacturer was able to secure design wins in the mid-range segment, and that is the OnePlus Nord 2, which has been doing great for OnePlus. Yeah. The Realme GT Neo, the Redmi K40 Gaming, the Xiaomi 11T, and the Vivo X70 Pro all feature the Dimensity 1200.
And a lot of people seem to like that Xiaomi 11T.
And the Vivo X70 Pro as well.
Okay.
Dimensity 9000 is the first wave of MediaTek's flagship ambitions. MediaTek's mid-range sales resurgence acted as a catalyst for its flagship ambitions. Time to do the stupid read. It's understandable why MediaTek is aiming for the high-end segment. There's much more potential for revenue. While MediaTek is now charging $30 for its mid-range, it can get more than double of that for its high-end chipsets. China by itself accounts for anywhere between 80 to 90 million high-end smartphones, and MediaTek is aiming to achieve a double-digit market share in the region. Huawei's tribulations have also played into MediaTek's hands. The Huawei Mate and P series amount to 40 million in sales. And while that number is steadily declining, that brand still has a decent chunk of the Chinese market. With Huawei no longer being able to turn to its in-house silicone to deliver the Kirin designs that go in its phones, it needs an alternative. MediaTek is setting itself up to be just that. It already outfits Huawei with the 4G-enabled chipsets for budget and mid-range phones, and is looking to do the same for the high-end category.
And I can see where that would have hurt Huawei a lot because those Kirin designs were really highly thought of by everybody.
Yep. North America is still out of bounds for MediaTek. Damn. While the Dimensity 9000 is a bold step for MediaTek, the manufacturer isn't going to make any inroads into North America anytime soon. Kanjula points to the lack of millimeter 5-way 5G as a deal breaker for the Dimensity 9000 in the region. I get it. It's true. Ugh.
Yeah, but who leads 5G in the US anyway? T-Mobile.
Yeah. MediaTek isn't focused on millimeter wave for now, and while that saves a lot of complexity, it will also be an issue in the long run. The fact that they don't have an in-house RF unit means they need to source RF front-end modules from the likes of Broadcom Qualcomm or Skyworks. The lack of an RF front end could prove a bigger hurdle for Mediatek in the coming years because they will need to rely on an external video vendor for the requisite hardware. Qualcomm, for its part, has a large RF division and delivers an all-in-one solution with the Snapdragon chipsets. Mediatek needs to start doing the same, and soon. For the time being, Mediatek is focusing on China, India, and select Western markets to fuel its growth. The Dimensity 9000 is a great showcase for the brand, one that has potential to hold its own against Qualcomm in the high-end segment, provided it secures a few design wins. Thankfully, we don't need to wait too long to hear more on that front.
Okay, that makes sense. I know Broadcom, and I know I never heard of Skyworks.
Yeah, I don't. No.
Okay. That's a new one on me. Anyway, so good for them. Hopefully they'll come here soon with that Dimensity 9000 or better. Yeah, I mean, if they were here and it was a decent price as a high-end phone, as long as it ran on T-Mobile, I'd get it because T-Mobile's 5G. 5G is very dependable, but it's not millimeter wave. You've got the low band and the mid band, but it goes everywhere. Not like millimeter wave, but stops at poles and trees and stuff.
Maybe they don't need to put it in a phone. Put it in a tablet or something and bring it to the US or TV smart boxes.
Yeah, it would be nice to have them. All right, now we're going down to your specialty.
Apparently, did you know, MediaTek supplies most of the chips for the TVs, our TVs?
Oh, I didn't know that. Know that. Yeah, to me, MediaTek, I think of Blue Phone and stuff like that because that goes back, 3-4 years, So.
Let's see what the comments say. Lewis is saying that the cameras make up 50% of the iPhone 13 Pro. He is true. I agree. That is the biggest improvement or upgrade on the iPhone 13. It was the camera.
What does he mean is the 50% camera?
He's saying that's the biggest update. It's pretty much the key thing of the iPhone 13. That's what the upgrade from the iPhone 12 was,
Okay, yeah.
50% cameras, and then the rest of the 50% is battery.
Okay. That makes sense. But see, I had to choose between the Flip and the 13. I chose the Flip. Now, I have to say, every time I show any kind of camera stuff from the Flip, because I remember when the Flip 3 came out, people were saying that the cameras blah, 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 blah. Every time I do a video on it, people are impressed with the cameras every single time, including me. So I guess because nobody thought they'd be. I'd say the Flip cameras are just a slight step below the Ultra. That's how I see it.
All right, let's see if this thing. How do I sound?
It sounds different. You sounded better before to me. It's more echoey now.
Yeah, because the mic is far away.
Okay, yeah, I liked it better before.
But the shot is better composed this way.
Oh, Schaffman loves it. Yeah, I like it. I had originally gotten a different case, but I finally went back and got the case from Samsung, and I love this case. I got used to it right away, and this thing is solid as a rock, and it is fun. And to this, just 2 days ago, three days ago, I took it out, and a couple of young guys, "Ooh, is that the Flip?" Yeah, that's the Flip. Yeah, so I still get that, which is kind of fun. Yeah. All right, I got glowing rectangles up here. I'm going to let you do the talking. I'm doing the share right now. Okay.
Actually, let me do the sharing.
Oh, you want to do it? All right.
I'll do the share.
All right, let me take it off, and I'll let you do it. Go for it.
All right.
That way you don't have to ask me to slide up and down, right?
All right. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Okay.
Does your future wife allow you to still do this stuff?
Let's see if I have it. If I'm not doing it with you, I'm not doing it anywhere else.
Okay. That's cool.
Let's see. Share screen.
I'm waiting for it to pop up here.
Select one.
I haven't seen it yet.
I can't.
He's getting old, folks. Okay, there it is. All right, all yours. Isn't that the wrong screen?
What do you mean?
Oh, it looks different. What did you do?
Sorry, guys. That was the infinity loop.
Is that glowing rectangle? Okay, yeah, it just looks different on my screen than yours. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I have dark mode on. You don't. Okay. There you go. Is that bigger for you guys? Yeah, there we go.
There you go. That's a lot. Oh, you had it. You just took it back a step.
Took it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Boom. Two hops this time.
One more. That's perfect right there.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's see. How did it go again? Lizzie, he has it right here. We want to find. Never mind. I'll just have to go off script on this one.
Okay, go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a video that you think should be shared?
Or a blog?
Or do you have a video or blog that you think should be shared to like-minded tech enthusiasts like yourself? Do you want your feed to be curated by other people sharing those interests and not by some nameless, faceless algorithm? Well, then go over and subscribe to the glowing, what is that? Reddit.com/glowing rect.
No, /r/glowing rectangles. He really forgot.
Sorry. Then go over to www.reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles.com. Ooh, joy. And there you will find those stories, those lovely, lovely tech stories. Jeez. Let's see. Today's top story. Let me see. How do I sort this? Top story of the day is Ike's Tech Talk live stream. He did a live stream. Ike did a live stream covering the OnePlus 10 officials announcement, the Galaxy S21 FE, and stuff. And let's see. Second top story of the day is from Sneed Tech, where he talks about the T-Mobile and Sprint customers watch network and account moves.
Yeah, he's been hitting the top a lot lately.
Yeah. And then number 3 was from Munchie, the Google Pixel 6 official case review. He was reviewing a case. Yeah. This is my submission. We have a review from Lisa Gate of Mobile Tech Review. She reviews the Kensington Studio dock for the iPad and Air review. Very expensive.
I have been following her for a long. She is really excellent. She's down in your area. She's in Plano.
Yeah. Not that I can find her. Look at that, but it's a very expensive looking dock. Look, I think from here we're seeing something that looks like an SD card. It's got a headphone jack, got some wireless charging ports. Very nice, very nice.
That looks expensive.
We have spectacular gadgets going over her smartphones with keyboards. Let's see. Juan released a video today going over the OnePlus Z2 buds, which might be the best buds for the OnePlus 10. And look, apparently there's a deal from Verizon Wireless for free. You get a free 15-day trial. I think you might need an eSIM though.
Could be, yeah. But yeah, Sneed always keeps up on that stuff.
And that's it. Oh no, there was supposed to be I messed it up.
There's one from Tech King Mike.
There it is. Actually, let me just do what's hot.
Oh, okay. I've never hit that button.
There you go. Boom. This was this was where it all went down. The 2021 alternate phone brand elimination challenge, and Sony won.
Yep.
Let me see. Yes, it was a furious night of voting. Google put up a good fight, but Sony is the ultimate champion. Thanks for everyone who shared and participated. You know, Let's see what everyone is saying. Stop sharing. Boom. There we go. Actually, yeah, on the final night when it was between Sony and Google, I actually broadcasted it out on Reddit and Twitter.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, and you know what happened? On Sony's, my post was upvoted, and on the Google Pixel subreddit, it was downvoted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, the correct brand won.
Well, knowing you, I'm pretty sure you must have voted for Sony.
on the last night, I actually voted. Well, remember, it's who you vote for that gets kicked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you basically choose who had the worst year.
Okay, gotcha.
So people in this one, like in the final vote, basically voted like Google had the worst year. I actually voted in favor of Google, so I voted Sony on the final night because I think Google had a much better year, even despite all the shenanigans with the Android 12.
Juan, from my guess is Juan would choose Sony based on cameras, and he has a lot of camera expertise.
Oh, we don't really,
but based on sales, it wouldn't even be anywhere near close.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's ultimately what decides if a smartphone brand has a good year or not. Sales, ultimately.
But my guess is not in that poll. I wouldn't think, since people are just voting their opinions. So I don't think that would be based on sales.
I mean, yeah, it is people voting their opinions. But yeah, if you think if they had a good year for sales, then they had a good year.
Well,
if they made
I don't know, selling better than they've ever sold by a lot.
True.
Since the 6s came out,
Yeah, that's why I voted in favor of Google. So I guess between the two, what do you think? Who do you think what makes a better year? A company that puts out better products or a company that sells more product? So Sony's the brand that puts out better product.
Of course, I haven't had a Sony phone in a long time, but if I had to pick the better product, I would guess it's the Pixel 6. But Sony's always going to have the better cameras because of how expensive they are and how high.
I mean, not just the better cameras, but more like the better device. They're going to have a better display.
Experience, you're saying?
Yeah, they have a better display.
Yeah, they do have a better display.
They have a headphone jack. They have an SD card slot.
Well, yeah, that's to you that means a lot. But yeah, the display again, it's very expensive display. So anyway, I think I would have.
So even though I voted in favor of Google, I'm happy Sony won.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wish they'd start selling decent price phones, $1,000 phones, $900 phones here, but they haven't done it in a while now.
No, they like to sell like their TVs, because Sony, or maybe they do. Do they make affordable TVs or no? They go big or go home on the TVs.
I don't think they make super expensive TVs. Yeah, but they're not TCL prices. I guarantee you that. I mean, they'd probably be on the same level, but the affordable high-end LG and Samsungs.
No, Sony makes stupid expensive TVs.
Like what, $20,000 you talking about, or what are you talking?
I mean, no, not that expensive, but 4,000, 5,000. I mean, LG and Samsung make those, similar price TVs too, but Sony, the thing is, Sony only makes those expensive ones. Like they don't bother.
And they made $1,000 ones, $900 ones.
No, Sony for their TVs, or at least when I see them Best Buy, they don't cater to like all the price points that a family can afford. They just like, if you have high end money for a TV, then that's Sony. Right, if you don't have high end money, you have to consider LG or Samsung or TCL.
Yeah, so they're not catering to peons like you and me.
No. Look at Brian is saying, but what's he saying? Ted doing the
Yeah, I already highlighted that one.
V says
First started
textbook
bringing
on
up.
it. Yes, she is textbook. Sony has better raw hardware. I agree with that, Brian.
Yeah,
Sony phones are
she's
great for
always
tech
excellent.
savvy content creators. Pixel is a more reasonable price, complete package for the average consumer. Yeah, I would agree so.
Yeah, they're just expensive. They're just expensive in everything they do.
Just expensive.
Yeah.
Or more
Brian
like you're too
agrees.
broke. Get
Okay,
those bands
I'm
up.
too broke.
You out here buying Galaxy Ultras and flips.
That's true. Yeah, I flipped out over the flip.
Spend your money wisely instead of doing quantity, do quality next time, George, for
Yeah,
2023.
For me, wisely means what do I enjoy? I enjoy my flip. Okay. But in actuality, the 12 Pro always keeps the same SIM card. That's with me just about every day. Now, the main SIM card today, because I was working, is in the flip. But tomorrow, since I won't be working, the main SIM card will be in the Pixel 6 Pro, and the flip will have the third SIM card. I kind of swapped them. And the one reason I like to carry the flip with me when I'm working, and remember, I'm jumping in and out of cars all day, this is the most pocketable phone I have. It's real easy to step into a jacket pocket, a shirt pocket, a pants pocket, anything I want. And I don't have to worry about scratching the screen. So, but yeah, tomorrow and Sunday, I'll be out with the Pixel. I was going to say out in the park riding a bicycle, but today the high was 35, which I will not be riding in that. But tomorrow it'll go up to 47, 48, which Google, I can just barely stand 17 miles at that temperature. Because when you ride by the Tennessee River when it's 47 degrees with gloves on, by the time I get back to my car after 17 miles, my fingers are feeling like, okay, frostbite is getting close again.
That's what it is right now. It's 47 degrees right now.
Oh, not here. Here it's below. Hey, Google, what's the temperature? Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
The current temperature in East Brainerd is 26 degrees.
We're down to 26 already.
Good gosh.
But this morning we were at 19, which is our coldest morning yet. We don't get many days like that, but I think we're going to have one again tomorrow morning. But at least it'll go up into the 40s rather than we never did hit 40 today, so it was cold today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, boy, you made my week just by being here. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, I had to be fashionably late, but I was also like, this is like
you got here earlier than Mike ever gets here, so that was good.
This is the first time I'm doing 3-point lighting in all the wrong way. I'm breaking all the filmmakers.
I can see the light behind you.
Yeah, so obviously we have the key light that's facing me. I would have ideally liked to have softened it up, but screw that out. So yeah, that's run rule broken there. We have, I don't know what this one behind me, usually the one behind you is supposed to be I guess your kicker light.
Okay.
Or the rim light. Actually, no, it's really just kicker the kicker light. What is it? Key fill. What's the backlight called again?
I have no idea. Remember, I use a green screen. I haven't had a backlight
in a very
long time.
Key rim hair fill. Oh. No, well, I have this back one that. Oh wait, actually, it's no, it's hitting me now.
What is that light I'm seeing over your right shoulder?
Now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, you mean this one right here? This one that's this one's acting like the side light, or
it's coming like right at the eyes.
It's not really supposed to. It's actually pointed down that way. It's only to be honest, its only purpose there is to explain why all of this behind me is blue, so no one gets
Okay,
confused. That's
Yeah, no,
really
it's,
why.
it's very much looking like it's pointed straight at the camera from here, you know. So, okay. Thank you,
Ooh.
Sharkfin. Yeah, I've been having 3 Sims for a couple
Yeah,
of
ladies and
years.
gentlemen,
But
this is
normally I carry 2, and Brian's very happy that you're here.
but yeah, this is it's a
Huh?
it's a Ulanzi LED light that I was able to get on Amazon renewed for $10. But
Okay.
yeah, I had it back there to explain why the stuff behind me is blue. Like, people in the business call that motivated lighting. Ooh.
We just figured you had the blues, brother.
But yeah, the real thing that's lighting up my background is my Godox SL60 with the umbrella softbox. And
Sharkfin said the only thing that would make this party wilder would be Mark's sequence. Yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
make it wilder. That's true.
And is it gone? So what's explaining the glow is I have so I guess you can call it a fusion filter, the glimmer glass filter, which is explaining
and that's
the
what
glow.
I was seeing back there, that glow.
Yeah, it's the lens reflection off the filter. Like you see it like just going around in circles. I can't stand it.
And of course, my musician's mind went to a song, but then I realized that song, none of you would have been born when that song came out, so it doesn't matter.
And here's a trippy fact. It's actually not lighting blue. It's actually white, but on my camera.
No, it looks white from here, but back there, it had more blue, but it's very white.
When you bring it
directly
up
at
closer, it shows that it's actually white, but back it is white. It is white, but on the camera, I have it set so that white looks blue, and then orange looks white. So my key desk lamp is very orange right now.
Oh, okay.
That's it's one of the oldest film tricks in the book for cinematic lighting.
No, you're still teaching the old guy stuff. This is good.
Well, yeah, I think it worked out well, despite all the rules I broke.
Wow, it's 20 after 10. Wow, we really went a while tonight.
Have you heard from Mark, by the way? Sequence?
No, I haven't seen him in about a month. It's been about a month since he came on. Maybe early December, I would think, the last time he came on. But he's busy. He's got little kids. I can understand that.
I think he also took a job with Amazon.
And he's got
doubly busy.
Right.
Yeah, he's with Amazon. He's busy.
Yeah. Amazon will keep you busy. That's for sure.
Amazon will keep you busy.
Yep. All right. So I'm hoping you'll be back. Well, I'm sure everybody here was really glad to have you. I certainly was.
Hey, well, I have fun.
Good.
Yeah. Hope I get free time to do this more often.
Okay, I'll appreciate it. How's the photography business doing? Well,
photography business been going okay. I'm doing some certifications in CompTIA. I'm trying to be like Trent and get into IT.
Okay, and that's whose name I couldn't remember when I said yesterday so and so was on top. It was Trent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did a rant. I think was it on the MacBook on ports.
I don't remember what it was, but I just remember pulling it up, and he was the top one. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks for starting our new year well, and especially thanks to Ted for making the new year start very
First
well.
Friday of the month. Let's have some fun, guys, with 2022.
Okay. So I guess I'm hoping I'll see you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And
you too. Have a great weekend, George, and you too, guys.
Thanks, guys, for coming in, and I hope you all have a blessed weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Thanks for stopping by, Sharkfin and Luis and Brian.
Yeah, and thanks for all the comments, especially.